I still remember the night everything fell apart, the night my mother's voice cracked over the phone, trembling between disbelief and fury. "Rachel," she said, barely breathing. "Your sister just told us she's pregnant. And she says, it's yours." For a moment the world went silent. The ceiling above my bed blurred, my heartbeat thundering in my ears. "What?" I whispered, my voice breaking. "Mom, that's not, how could she even?" "She's 17, Mom snapped, her tone sharp as broken glass. "And she swears you did this to her. We need to talk. Now." I hung up and stared into the dark, the glow of my phone screen burning my eyes. My girlfriend Emma stirred beside me. "What's wrong?" she mumbled. "My sister," I said, my throat dry. She's saying I got her pregnant." Emma blinked, confused, then pushed herself up on one elbow. "That's insane. She's your adopted sister." "I know," I said. "But my parents, they believe her." Her face softened for half a second before something else crept in, doubt. She looked at me like she was searching for cracks. "Rachel, just tell me the truth," she whispered. "Did something happen?" The question sliced through me like a blade. "Emma, no. She's lying. I swear." But even as I said it, her expression told me everything. She didn't believe me either. By the next morning, my phone was flooded with messages from my parents, from family friends, from people I barely knew. I didn't even go home. They told me not to. Mom texted, "Your father says you're not welcome until you tell us the truth." I kept reading those words over and over until they didn't mean anything anymore. Emma stopped answering my calls. I drove to her apartment after 2 days of silence, desperate just to see her face. She opened the door a crack, eyes red and puffy. "Emma, please," I whispered. "Rachel, I can't," she said, shaking her head. "My parents already know. They think you're—" She stopped herself. "I just can't do this." The door clicked shut. And just like that, I was alone. Weeks blurred together. I stopped going to work. I couldn't even walk down the street without feeling like everyone knew. But somewhere beneath the exhaustion, anger began to burn. I needed to know why she did it, why my sister Hannah would destroy my life. When I finally got her alone, it was in the backyard of the house I used to call home. She was sitting by the fence, clutching a mug, pretending I wasn't there. "Why?" I said quietly. She didn't look up. "You shouldn't be here. Tell me why you lied." Finally she turned, her eyes glassy and tired. "You think I wanted this," she said. "You think I wanted to ruin your life. Then what did you want, Hannah?" Her lips trembled. "I wanted someone to see me." The words hung in the air, strange and soft and horrifying. "I was disappearing in that house," she continued. "You were the perfect one, the one they compared me to. You had everything. I just wanted someone to care. Someone to notice." I shook my head. "So you lied about being pregnant? About me?" "I didn't lie about the pregnancy," she said. "Just about who the father was." The ground tilted beneath me. "Then who?" I asked. She hesitated, tears sliding down her face. "Dad." The world stopped. "No," I said, my voice cracking. "No, Hannah, you can't." "He told me not to say anything," she said, shaking. "He said no one would believe me. So I picked you. I knew they would believe that before they believed the truth." For a moment I couldn't breathe. The air around me turned heavy, thick with the stench of lies and something darker. I stepped back, my hands trembling. "Hannah, do you have proof?" She nodded. "I have his messages. He said he'd leave Mom for me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he said I ruined everything." I pressed my hands against my mouth, trying to hold in the scream building inside me. The next day, I walked into my parents' house without knocking. Mom was sitting on the couch, her eyes hollow from sleepless nights. Dad stood behind her, hand on her shoulder. "I know," I said quietly. He looked up sharply. "Know what?" "Hannah told me everything," I said. "And I saw the messages." He froze. Mom frowned. "What messages?" Dad's mask cracked just slightly before he forced a smirk. She's lying. Both of them are. But I wasn't the one who brought the phone out, it was Hannah. She stepped out from behind the stairs, holding it out with shaking hands. "Read them, Mom," she said. Mom took the phone, scrolled, and her hand began to tremble. "David," she whispered. "What is this?" He started to speak, but I cut him off. "You blamed me," I said, voice rising. "You let everyone believe I was a monster, just to save yourself." He opened his mouth, but no words came out. The silence that followed was the most honest sound I'd ever heard. Mom's face crumpled as she dropped the phone, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Get out," she whispered to him. "Get out of this house." He tried to reach for her, but she flinched away. Hannah sank to the floor, sobbing. And God, I didn't know what to feel. Relief. Rage. Grief for a family I'd lost long before that day. All I knew was that nothing could ever undo what had been done. Months later I started therapy. Emma never came back. My mother barely spoke, but she sent me one message. "I'm sorry for not believing you." Hannah's baby was born in spring, a little girl with her eyes. I held her once. She wrapped her tiny fingers around mine, and for a brief, fragile moment, I felt something that almost resembled peace. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But maybe the beginning of it.